Alright, I made a post about my build the day before League start, or 2 days before, and I figured Voltaxic Burst is kind of a unique skill. Not many people are too keen on trying for the obvious clunk reasons. And it's actually been treating me really well. I've made it to 87 with a reasonable amount of 13 deaths. Cleared campaign running Voltaxic as soon as I could, and did it in 8 hours, which for me is a record time. And yeah, I was gonna go over my gear and also do a short voyage showcase afterwards. Right, all in all, the POB I was planning didn't pan out entirely, because I later realized that the entire top right side, including the last power charge, is kind of bait. You don't get too many things on this side that you actually care about, and yeah, just the one power charge doesn't really make a big difference. So this is like if you're getting into the late 90s, you can do a little respec and go over there. Otherwise, that's not gonna be too great of a time. Pain attunement is an option that I was considering, which I might still do later. The thing is, mana-infused staff doesn't work that with that anymore, because I was gonna do pain attunement, put my Arctic armor on life, which should be just over 50% reservation, and the problem is that mana-infused staff cannot be switched off of mana at all. You can't really change anything about it, and I really badly needed to cap my block. Which does make quite the difference. I am actually attack block capped in combat as well. There's 2 conditionals that are pretty much always up while mapping. But yeah, I haven't really thought about what I'm gonna do about that later. Definitely like a 94, 95 type of thing. The plan would be to drop this cluster, potentially Mind Over Matter as well, and then start pathing from here instead. Go over here, drop this entire section, path through these 2 AoE nodes to connect this, and then grab Pain Attunement, the melding wheel, go down here through this path, and yeah, keep this. And then the last power charge would be up here through this wheel, and then down here, power charge and potentially mana on kill, which we also get over here. Yeah, and then for like super late game for SSF anyway, which I am, would be CI probably. But I just don't have anywhere near enough energy shield for that right now. Right, as far as DPS goes, I don't really have the POB number on me right now, but I'll show off how many stacks I can get. We're at 24 right now. Realistically, during mapping, you're looking at more like 10, maybe. This is, of course, like if you want to fully charge, takes the entire duration, which is 3.6 seconds of standing still. You're not going to do that a whole lot. But it is a possibility, of course. A single target is definitely like the weak point of the build right now. That and mobs that hit really, really hard. Because recovery is not really where I would like it to be. Yeah, as far as leveling goes, the leveling POV I posted is pretty accurate. The thing is, you can go for staves, like for staves, as soon as possible. Which is like Act 2, you start getting +2 staves, like really, really often. This is item level 35, a +3. And then you get some incremental upgrades on the +3 until... where is it? Yeah, this is a +5. This one is item level 54, So I got that, I think, end of Act 6, and I've been using this all the way until I got, like, this most recent upgrade. Which is pretty nuts with added lightning tier 2. Ideally I would probably like a spell block base until I can get a battery staff, because I need this entire cluster and this extra node to fix my spell block. Because otherwise I'll be somewhere in the 60s. Right, I think that pretty much covers it. I'm just gonna go into my voyage real quick, which is like kind of the most fun part of the build. Of course it did reset this, that's great. Made sure I had that set up.
Maybe this'll be.
And I guess the game doesn't save these, that's kind of sucks. Which one was the... what was that one? Right. Let's go.
This should be fun.
So, if you want to start, you just charge up a little bit, and then you wait for the first pop. And then you can basically just run in blind. Need to do a couple clicks every now and then. We have spell echo, so you always get a double cast. This guy's lightning and shock resistant. There we go. Right. The cool thing is I did get the Order of Storm of Squalls, which is a transfigured version of the skill that does more damage, and it automatically teleports on every proc, which is quite helpful if you're rushing in maps. It's also not as bad as I imagined it to be for a single target, because if there's no other target it just stays on target. Right. Really empowered, that's cool. Essentially, the situations where I actually die is, for the most part, to like ground degens and stuff, which I would be fixing with primarily Pantheon stuff. So I'll be keeping the ones that I have right now and just get the sub, the smaller effects. I haven't found a single vessel, so that's great. Yeah, and the other thing I've been looking for that I got on my practice run that I haven't found yet would be Frostblink of Wintry Blast, because we do have a lot of cast speed. And it feels incredibly smooth to play with. Flame Dash, on the other hand, kind of sucks. In comparison, just because you're occasionally running out of charges when you wanna do the backtracks and stuff. These are like some of the tankiest rares I've had all league, but it's also like the highest level content and very, very short on progression with my Atlas. Like I haven't really done much. I'm in tier 11s now. This is in 78 area. But yeah, I think that's most of the interesting stuff I can show right now. Of course, the big upside of being an occultist is like if I do get bored of the build, if I run into a wall that I don't want to continue working on, there's a bunch of meta stuff this league that I can transition to. So I could, as a backup, I've been thinking Chaos Dot, which is looking incredibly good this league. Which I do also get, like, potentially good weapons for when gambling for staves, which gambling does seem to be the best option. to get upgrades in that regard, because for some reason Faustus just keeps giving you the highest rolls. Like once you unlock +3, like item level wise, you don't really see +2 anymore. So that's an incredibly consistent upgrade method. Right, and I think with that I'm kind of out of things to say. I'm gonna finish my voyage up on my own and yeah, get this video up, probably post it on Reddit, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask.